You may not know this, but there are a lot of Cars characters. So many, in fact, that you could pick out any random background character, and more likely than not, they have a name and backstory. And that's what I'll be going over in today's video. Let me know in the comments how many of these you knew. Let's start with probably the most major characters in this video, the tuner cars, whose names are Boost, DJ, Snotrod, and Wingo. This car who flips in the air is named Paul Ingas. This Piston Cup racer that Lightning McQueen passes is named Aiken Axler. He races for the team Nitroade. This very enthusiastic Lightning McQueen fan is named Albert Hinkie. Even the car that waves the checkered flag at the finish line has a name. His name is Dexter Hoover. This next one is only seen for a brief moment under the sponsor tent. His name is Japeth. And this car's name is Fred, but you probably already knew that because it says it on his license plate. Next is this cameraman during the Piston Cup race. He's named Nelson Blindspot, which is kind of ironic because he's a cameraman. Another cameraman named Chuck Choke Cables can be seen right next to him. This next one is an interesting one. During the Piston Cup race at the beginning of the movie, a car can be seen with the Apple logo on it. This was a reference to Steve Jobs, the CEO of Pixar at the time. The name of this car is Mac iCar. On the way to California, you can see a truck sleeping at the top-down truck stop. This random truck's name is Oliver Lightload. The next car can be seen at the tiebreaker race, and his name is Skip Richter. His face isn't even shown on screen, and yet he still has a name. This Piston Cup racer that gets flipped upside down is Claude Scruggs. This extremely random RV is named Clayton Gentlebreeze. He's also seen at the beginning of the movie in this shot right here. This may be the most minor character in all of Pixar. In my video about the forgotten characters of Pixar, I said that this car named Benny Breakdrum was the most minor character, but I think Clayton Gentlebreeze may have just beat him. This car from the 1950s is named Milton Calipir, another one of the most minor Pixar characters. Another car seen being towed by Mater during the Our Town montage is Percy Handbrakes. The planes that fly over the race in California are named Stu Bop and Marco. They look almost completely identical, so they're hard to tell apart. A student in Sarge's boot camp can be seen during the end credits. His name is TJ Hummer. These two characters looking over the rim of the stadium are Johnny and Jamie. These two cars are notorious for showing up early to play pranks. This truck seen during the Our Town montage is named Dustin Mellows. He was a delivery truck for trophy spark plugs in the 1950s. He has a backstory about how he had a head-on collision with one of the locals and ended up falling in love with them. They moved to a nearby suburb of Cooperville and are now enjoying a relaxing retirement together. This cameraman named Tim Rimmer is seen shortly after Chick Hicks wins the Piston Cup. Another news reporter named Matty appears in Radiator Springs when Lightning McQueen is found by the media. The car selling antenna balls is named Brian Park Motors, and he actually has a whole backstory about wanting to be a singer. Here's another interesting one. This car is seen for a very brief moment behind Chick Hicks. He's actually a Christmas-themed car named Greg Candyman. Now going from Christmas to Halloween, we have Hank Halloween Murphy. He's most likely given that name because of his orange and black color scheme. This is another car seen during the Our Town montage. And to finish off the list, we have Lightning McQueen's crew chief, who he calls Chuck. This character is actually credited as not Chuck. And there's my list of the forgotten characters of Cars. Let me know which ones you got. This is only scratching the surface of how many Cars characters there really are. Let me know if you want a part 2. Thank you for watching, and bye.